We're here today at the Long Room at Purdey. Purdey is a brand that is at the very pinnacle of British craftsmanship and heritage. It's known for its gun making, but ultimately this room actually has a rather large combination of British history within it. We can see ledgers through the years that go back to the 1820s for people ordering guns. Over there is a piece of shrapnel that was dropped by the Nazis in World War II that got stuck into the pillars and was removed and put in there, but the dents still remain as a marker of memory. The Queen sat here for a dinner that was a retirement dinner for the former chairman of the company. Over the centuries, Purdey has remained a brand that is coveted by so many people, both inside the country sports community and outside. So we've come here today and also to their factory in Hammersmith to find out why. Andrew, how are you?
Very good.
You're the director of gun sales for Purdey.
I am indeed.
And so new customers for Purdey or old customers, they'll come here. This is the room that they will be in and they will be met by you and you will take them through what it is that Purdey's doing. Now, that's obviously a very present, current day thing to be doing. They'll be coming in, seeing new products, but ultimately Purdey's about much more than that. Purdey has a huge heritage that goes way back and I guess comes as part of the package and is part of the story that you deliver to the customer when they come in. So why don't you give us that story?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's absolutely 100%. What we try and do here is we see ourselves as sort of guardians of this great room and the great heritage and tradition. This room was built and this shop was built in 1883, so we've been here a long time. The company started before that in 1814. And when a new client comes into this room, for us it's really important that, you know, they're not just buying a gun. They're buying into all of this. They're becoming part of this, becoming part of the heritage, tradition, history. That's what they love. And that's every client that's ever bought a Purdey from day one to the present day is they're wanting to be a part of this. And I find that personally quite extraordinary. I've been in this business for over 20 years and I walk in this room and it still makes my hairs on my arms go up because it's just phenomenal. Our job is to really convey what it is about owning and buying a Purdey, and it's being a part of all that. Terrific, because there are two aspects to this. I find that there's the heritage with regards to craftsmanship and the guns, which we'll have a closer look at in a second, but also the heritage of country sports, a very particular sort of hobby or lifestyle that people really want to be a part of and is a great British tradition. And it's nice that with that there is a great British brand to go with it. Yeah, absolutely. Let's then dive right in. This is very much your oeuvre. Tell me about the guns that we have in front of us. Yeah, you've picked these out. So. I've picked out. I could probably fill this table with guns I'd like to show you, but at the top here we have the Sporter, which is our sort of it's not an entry level. I don't really like that term, but it's the lower priced of all the models. But this has been phenomenally successful, very popular, and it's making use of modern technology with CAD and CAM, but also combining it with traditional gun making methods, hand finishing. So it's a combination of the two worlds colliding, both the Sporter model and our Purdey trigger plate gun here. May I? Please do. You don't get any options and extras on it. There are a few, but in the main, it's sort of, that's what you buy. But it's very much, very in the traditions of Purdey, similar shapes, nice slim grip. The engravings are terrific. Yeah, lovely. There are threads of that gun that run through all our guns. So we haven't lost anything by it, but what we've tried to do is keep the costs down and try and appeal to a new client or a client that can maybe not perhaps afford or want to spend more on the best guns. Then we have the Purdey trigger plate, which is a detachable trigger mechanism that comes out. You can have anything you like on here. You can design the engraving, you can choose your own walnuts, as with all our guns, it's made to your own measurements. This is
Okay.
absolutely vital.
Because the idea of a gun being fitted is
Yeah.
actually something that people wouldn't necessarily be familiar with. It's almost like the idea
Very
of someone
true.
fitting spectacles. Like,
Yeah.
when you think about it, it actually makes a lot of sense because the body is such a particular
100%.
shape. Everybody's different, and we all need something that connects with our eyes. And ultimately, nothing could be more important.
It's so true. I mean, it's almost like a golf club. It should flow. A gun should be an extension of your arm. If you get a good fitting gun, it's night and day difference. And if you speak to people that shoot and they say, "Oh, I had this gun, I couldn't get on with it," a lot of the time it's the fit.
And am I right in saying that the way you fit a gun is pretty similar to the way it would have been fitted when
Absolutely.
everything opened up?
So you'd go out with what's called a tri-gun, which is an adjustable gun, and we take 9 measurements off that gun, and it's you can adjust the left and the right, up and the down, the length. So there's a lot of sort of measurements taken, a bit like a Savile Row suit, but it's exactly as we would have done 100 years ago.
It's interesting though, because people would just assume that a gun is a straight
Correct.
item, but actually
Yeah.
what you're saying is that it isn't.
It isn't, and it's as you say, because we've all got different eyes, we've got different shaped face. If you're left or right-handed, which way does the stock turn? There's a lot of factors at play.
And ultimately is the difference between hitting and missing.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes. Now, just on that, people often say to me, "So I'm spending all this money, does that mean I'll hit the birds?" Well, no, I can't make you hit the birds with these guns, but it will aid you and improve you, and you'll become, very consistent at shooting. This is our best gun. This is our.
Is that in your opinion, or is that official?
That's our sort of terminology
your
that
sort of
we call it our best, which is completely handmade, as with the PTP at our factory in Hammersmith. Very traditional, unchanged in design for over 100 years. Absolutely
I
beautiful.
mean, it's absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah.
Amazing how slight and I guess dainty to a large extent.
Very,
it is.
very slim. That's very much a Purdy shape. So the shape of the grip, the shape of the stock, all those dimensions are unchanged. That's very much from the Purdy sort of genesis.
And that doesn't. It doesn't mean that it's not going to give as much of a kick as anything else. I mean, this is a powerful weapon.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is amazing looking.
And so when you progress through these models, you're getting to sort of 800 or 900 man hours for this model. What you're getting with a Purdy is you're getting that perfect balance as well as a perfect fit. And when I say perfect balance, it means it should balance equally between your two hands. Should be in the middle, so that it doesn't feel as heavy as it is.
Right.
So people often pick up Purdy and go, "Oh, this feels amazing." Yes, because it's balanced correctly. It's not barrel heavy, it's not stock heavy.
The cocking mechanism is different to, usually what happens is when you shoot the cartridges, you open it up and the barrel going down is what cocks the gun again. And then you put you reload and then you're ready to go. With a Purdy, it's the closing of the...
Absolutely.
So why is that something that you do uniquely to everybody
It was
else?
based on the Beasley action. He designed it as a self-opening system, so it drops open very quickly. Now then you're cocking on closing, but his argument was by having it self-opening, you could open quicker and you can reload quicker.
Okay.
That was the main argument.
And then the final gun you've got here feels, I mean, it seems modern. It has a real personalised look to it because the barrel is a different colour to the other metals used. So why don't you tell us all?
Yeah, this is for me fascinating. As I say, I've been in this industry a long time, and when I look at this, this is really a link to the past. This is Damascus steel. So Damascus is essentially the intertwining of metals. It used to be the sort of you'd get 3 strands of metal and they would intertwine them, and that's how you get that incredible patterning. But what's incredible about this is you not only have you got the Damascus barrels, but you've got the Damascus patterning on the action, which to me, it may not be to everyone's taste, but I think it's astonishing in gun making terms. The feedback from the clients is like, wow, this is incredible. And the more you look at that gun, sort of sends your eyes a bit odd, but it's it's beautiful.
I mean, it is amazing looking. I mean, it really stands out.
it is an aesthetic. But then I would say a lot of this is about aesthetics. You know, for me, it all comes down to that. What does the individual like to see on a gun? Over time, we're now seeing engravers, in my view, are the best they've ever been.
Really? Okay.
Today. Today's engravers are phenomenal. What they can produce is outstanding because they are genuine artists with enormous talent.
What people are usually buying here is something they'll plan on passing down. You know, it's a big investment for people.
Huge,
that could be passed on. Therefore, you can personalise it.
Yes.
To, you know, within sort of the scope of the family, and
yes,
you know, make it feel more personal in that sense.
Absolutely, and that's really important for us. When a client comes in and they're considering buying a Purdey, what's important for us is A, listen, and B, really work out what they're going to use it for, where they're going to go, and what's the long-term plan. For me, the best type of client is one who doesn't say to me, "I'll leave it all up to you."
Right.
That's horrible. It's just I want more input, not less. So I want them to tell me exactly what they want, because gun making is so personal, and it's their gun. You know, this will go. These are designed to last for generations after generation, and so it's important. You know, we get it right.
Terrific. Now, don't ever say I don't spoil you, dear reader, but we have an extra gun to look at in this collection. You can't see it currently because it's hidden behind the guns over here. It's over there. And this is extraordinarily special. This is one of 3 miniature shotguns that are fully functional.
Correct.
That are made. Why don't you tell me a little bit about them and talk about what it is exactly that we are looking at.
Yeah, I mean, what you're looking at here is a phenomenal piece of craftsmanship. The other 2 were a pair of hammer guns made to mark King George V's Jubilee. So they were presented to him in 1935, and this 3rd one was completed in 1938. I'm almost left speechless when I look at it, because it would be one thing to make it as just a non-functioning gun. It would be hard enough to make it to look authentic, but actually fully functioning, operational, is just a phenomenal feat of gun making.
So presumably, as you're saying, this isn't a lost art. This is your craftsmen are very much able to do what was done back in the 1930s.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and we have that proudly on display here to show what we were doing then, but also to show this is what we're doing today, because it's very, very important.
Fantastic. Well, it's a beautiful piece, so thank you very much for getting it out and showing. I know that it is under lock and key and very well protected. For this and as well as everything else, thank you very much.
No problem at all. It's just a pleasure to be able to show you and you know, get it out of the cabinet. So a comment I made earlier about we don't want to stare at them, but it's that I get nervous, I'm shaking.
I'm very calm. It's in safe hands over here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.